In 1926, a property developer bought this land to build a brand new housing estate. Fortunately for us, it was the Great Depression. Welcome to Interlagos and the second round of the Aussie Racing League, and it promises to be something special. Let's take a look at the track layout. 4.3 kilometres in length, 15 turns, and plenty of overtaking opportunities for those that are brave at heart. Let's take you off to your commentary team.
And a big welcome to everyone again. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. It is time for the Aussie Racing League Elite Edition. I am your host, Man of Tin, and in the box of me tonight, we have Snooperloop. Welcome, mate.
Thanks, Tins. Hello, chat. We're back. Another week and another elite race. We're ready to rumble here. It should be a great race today, Tins.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, we had a little bit of controversy in in Spain. Some incidents and some things going on, but coming back to Brazil, we've seen a dry race, we've seen a wet race in the novice event. So this is a great track. I do love this. It gives you a chance with the slow corners. There's a few fast corners. A lot of room for error. There's a lot of room to gain a lot of time. And it's always good for good racing, considering how short the track is as well.
Yeah, man. Beautiful track here into Lagos. And like you said, it's a great track for racing. There's a lot of room for switchbacks on this track. You can go from the outside to the inside on a few corners, especially turn one. In the real life counterpart, you always see Max Verstappen. He loves to go around the outside, down the inside at turn one. So it's a really good track. And I cannot wait for tonight's race.
That is it. So, with a few more races coming up, obviously we have the sprint race in Abu Dhabi next week. That is the season finale for the true F1s. But yeah, we got back-to-back racing for that. So then we have Monaco, Azerbaijan, Canada, Britain, Silverstone, and Austria. But we will now click over to the race and try and get some information on what's going on. Have we got any engineers in the chat that could perhaps fill us in on whether or not it will be raining? It looks fairly dark, so we could see early movement. I think we have, it's a Haas that's just gone out, a McLaren. So Gers is out on track. Zakov's gone out. So Gers, Zakov, a few guys out already.
Speaking of the real life counterpart, you spoke about Abu Dhabi next week. Hasn't the season flown by? I mean, the year in general has as well, but we're at the final race after this weekend at Brazil in real life, and that's another F1 season 2022, a dominant one for Max Verstappen in the books.
That's it. We just watched Dutchie on his outlap do a little bit of a spin. But yeah, no, another one for Maxi. He's now got two. Along with Maxi, Red Bull have taken out the constructors as well. So a pretty good year for them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We have a few guys tuned in. Ironite 2009, hello there. Reblets, always as per normal. Skipper's in the building.
Big Skip.
Ironite 2009. The track is called Brazil. As we watch, we've got guys starting their first lap. So I said we've got Gers, we've got Dutchy who'll have nice and warm tyres after that little spin out. I believe that's Zakov directly behind him. I think that is Tazza behind him, so it might be a chance of wet weather, I would find, considering a lot of the heavy hitters went out early. So Should be not too bad. I think we'll jump back on with Gares here, as he's coming up to the big hairpin here. What times do you reckon we're going to look at tonight? We've seen some pretty good times put on the board.
Times tonight. In the elite division, now, I think I was seeing that people were sort of... I'll be expecting to see them jump into the 107s, the mid 107s. Is that sort of the time range we're looking at here? As Gares straight away goes 107.9. So maybe we're expected to see 106s. Zakov's done a 107 straight out of the bat. Yeah, and Tazza just does a 107.44. So I reckon we might be able to see someone touch on the 106s depending on how this weather pans out. But yeah, 106s maybe, but early 107s, I believe that's the benchmark that we're expected to see here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a few laps put in, but yeah, I think we've already seen Taz's got a 107.4. So he's off to a fine start. I don't think we may see a 106, but that's going to be a very, very quick time. So obviously the track as it develops throughout, more rubber goes down. There will be a lot more grip, especially with how heavily this track relies on cornering speed and grip. So we might see a 106. I think we will, but there might only be a few people that actually get it done. So we will look to see how we go, as most people are almost finished their laps and then they've gone straight in. So it'll be interesting to see if Dutchy or Gares or that comes straight back out, because if they come straight back out, then we know that there's weather on the way. But so the 106.7 is the world record time, so I don't know if we'll see any 106s.
So Rebs and HK in the chat are pretty confident that these guys will run into the 106s pretty easily. So we'll have to see. I'm interested to see who can string one together. No, surely this is one of those tracks that to get into those 106s, you literally have got to hit them all. Every apex and hit every braking zone perfectly, because especially with a lot of incline and decline around the track, probably I'm not too sure how many drivers are running ABS or anything like that, but I'm sure it'd probably be easy to miss a few braking points here as well, so going up and down hills and whatnot.
They're all... Again, there's plenty of room to lose time, but there's also plenty of room to gain time. Again, if you do, just keep your lines nice and tight. If you have good car control, a good setup on this track especially is huge. It really does go towards go massively in your favour if you have a good setup. As we see, Apex here does hit the 107, so puts him at 6th. I think that's Mez coming around now. Sneaky's still in the pit, so you get to see a time from him. But it looks like everyone's back in the pits. I think SGN might have come out for a second lap here, so the prediction is up. I think the prediction, will we see anyone in the 106s? So, my apologies, I'm just...
Heavily swung to yes. A lot of people in the chat are saying that it's going to be in the 106s, so it's swinging quite a bit, actually. I'm watching this poll live. It's quite exciting, actually. I'm going to run that it is going to go into there, and I'm going to spend a couple of my bits here, and I'm going to run with Reblets and HK. They are two of the best. two of the best blokes, and I'm going to run with what they reckon. So in the 106s, as we see, Tazza, he did set a bank over 107.44. A 4.48. So that'll be interesting to see if he can knock almost 5 tenths off his first run that he did. And honestly, with that track rubbering in, and if it stays dry, then it does seem pretty possible that he should be able to get that done. But I mean, Zakov's a 107.7, Zay a 107.660, and then Tiger with a 107.8. And there's a couple there that are sort of just lingering in that 107.9 region. So a couple of them are sort of towards Apex and below would have to, or even Cato as well, would have to almost chop a second off their time. So, yeah, but we do know these tracks rubber in. Know that a lot of grip comes late in the session. And we know how good these drivers are as well. So it can be done. Definitely can be done.
That's what we say. HK, can you please just get back in your box, mate? We don't want to hear any negativity in the chat, mate.
What's he saying?
Oh, he's trying to tell me I can't bad mouth Ferrari when that's all everyone does. So can't really say too much about. I love you, Snoop, but can't really say too much positivity about Ferrari after the Mexico Grand Prix. So I'm sorry, but the truth hurts.
In which division? Because I mean, Tadachi put off one of the most stunning drives to seal a drivers' championship in that Ferrari against Milk, and then me, example, I was on the other end of the spectrum. I was the disconnect king. So. That's why they do employ me in the commentary box. I'm here to be the moral support for the Ferrari boys in the box. So say what you want, Tins, but the Scuderia are the prancing horses run our back feet always, mate.
Yeah, you're on your back foot because you suck. Nah, I should say that. But we again, they've got a little bit to make up. But we'll see how it goes. Again, where Zay's got himself up there with a 107.6. He was in front of Zakov, but Zakov has put quite a nice time down. Taz is only just coming out for his second lap. So that's going to be quite interesting. I don't think there's going to be any weather around if Taz is waiting this long. I believe we have... Gares has just started a lap. There's a lot going on. There is cars absolutely everywhere at the moment. Eckham's just put in a 108.17, so he's struggling a little bit. I believe we have... Dodge is half a second up, so he'll put himself into the 107s with this time. Yep, so 6 tenths up on that, so puts himself into the top 10. Pretty good lap there from Dodge. I think Kebab's coming around, but he has invalidated. I believe there's a Ferrari right behind him. I think that's Farmer Sam. It's just not quite... He has put a time up now, but nothing too flash. I think Taz is just about to start his lap. I think that's Fluxy behind him as well, who's also 2 tenths up. So can Fluxy improve? He does get to 13th, but not really setting the world on fire. Is that Eckham? Puts himself up into 5th, so that's a bit more like the Eckham we've come to know and love. Back up in the top 5. He had a bit of a difficult time in Spain, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get a time in. I think his game kept crashing, or he was having some sort of disconnection issues, and then he had to start from the back of the grid. And unfortunately, at Spain, it is a hard track to pass on, and he just wasn't able to get his day going. So today, Brazil, it's a great track, as we've spoken about earlier, and as it stands in P5, is a very, very racy position. Yeah, hopefully he can get himself some well-needed points here today. So as we just move around. So Tabs is just about to come around off a flying lap here. I have stuck on board with a little bit of this lap, and it was a little bit untidy at the start, but he has managed to reel it in a little bit. And he's gone 10 seconds slower.
What are you on about? This is what happens when you spend too much time around that red prancing pony camp. You do start to get a little bit.
Yeah, it did feel quick. It did feel really quick to me, actually. So, no, I honestly don't want to miss there. So, apologies to the chat. I genuinely missed something huge because he went 10 seconds slower.
Yeah, that's that, and that right there is why we're still a novice, because we think that's really quick. And yeah, it's well and truly nowhere near.
I actually thought that was going to be a whole time.
Oh,
I must have looked away at literally for 2 seconds, and I mean, how do you lose 10 seconds in that time?
There must be a spin or something. So, or had a big moment. I think he might have actually pulled completely out of that lap, because he has going for this second lap here, so he is up on his time. Is he going to pull in? He does not. So he's going to pull a time here. 107.1. Oh, that's still not 106 though. So that is damn close, but not quite close enough. Farmer Sam's improved quite a lot. He's now 107.9. So I think Apex is on the track. So he's just on his outlap. I think that would be SGN right behind him, as we do catch him spinning. So is that, I believe that's Dutchy that's just gone flying past to start his outlap. Then it would be Mez.
Mez is about 3 seconds off his best here.
I think he's going straight into the pits anyway, but we might just jump on with Apex here. Obviously, Apex wasn't here last week, so he has a chance to show us what he has this week and bounce back into those points. We saw him finish strong in the last season.
Yeah, didn't he have a great drive in Mexico? He had a few moments. He spun under a safety car, believe it or not, and yeah, he managed to bring it back into a podium. So he'll be looking to try and carry that form from a couple of weeks ago into this race, but I believe he was away last week for a school camp, so he's back in with that fish helmet on, that disgusting fish helmet. He's in and ready to get a time. We'll see what he'll come up to here. And he goes with a 107.379, so he does push Zakov out of the way, and he's just underneath Tazza there. So a great lap from Apex, and he has carried a bit of that form over from Mexico. Great lap.
Yep, great lap. So there is Apex back on the chopping block there. And we have an outlap for Zakov here. I think that might be, who's at the back there? It might be ABK. ABK has improved. I think we've got Tiger coming around now, so he has improved. He's put himself into fifth. There's very, very small margins here with a few tenths. Taz has come straight back out. See if we can catch the end of this. So I think we've got Kebab, who is about to start his lap. There are the two Ferraris here. They are.
Oh, a bit of a tow happening.
They are very, very close. Oh, well done by Apex there. That is great teamwork.
So Farmer Samantha, Farmer Sam's sister, that's filling in for Farmer Sam today, has just got a tow from Apex. So we'll see what that time, how much he gains off that.
Apex was at band camp. Yep, well done, HK. It's pretty good. Give you that. Zay's going to stay up there. We'll just pop in to see where our... So Zakov has in... Oh, he has improved, but he's not going to improve with that. How's that for timing, I tell you?
Yeah, you've done well there, Tim. So Zakov maybe feeling the pinch a little bit here. He's really getting handed to it by Apex and Tazza, and that's from Tazza to Zakov. That's quite a nifty little gap there that Tazza's put between there. So maybe we're starting to see a little bit of pressure that's actually getting to Zakov a little bit. So we'll have to see what happens in the race, but as it stands at the moment, Taz is still on pole position, that provisional pole here. What's your thoughts about that, Tint?
Yeah, no, he kind of blew it. It looks like the toe from Farmer Sam. That hasn't worked out for 2 laps in a row, so he's not going anywhere. Gares has put himself up there now, so he's into 3rd. We have Taz's coming around, but he is down on his time, just out. So I don't think the 106s will be broken today. So if you loaded up your money, you're probably about to lose it. Serves you right, Ferrari fans.
30 points in there. That's broken the bank.
King Cairo, pay me. Eckham is up on his time here. Again, any improvement here is going to jump you right up. So this Gas doesn't have enough to start again. I believe that might be a Zico at the back here. There's the 2 Ferraris. I think it might be Farmer Sam having a crack. Nah. He's going straight in. So that about wraps it up. So Tazza takes pole. We'll just wait for the official results to come through. So Tazza takes pole. 107.1. Pay up. We didn't reach the 106 today. Apex backs up some great form. 107.3. Gares in 3rd. 4th, Zakov. Zay, Tiger, Kebab, Dodge, ABK, Farmer Sam, Eckham, Vlad, Lemon, Cato, Mez, Aziko, Fluxy, Dutchy, SGN, and Sneaky rounding it out. To go from the top 11, there's only 0.7 of a second, so that is incredible.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
And not only that,
really
we're 4 tenths off. We're 4 or 5 tenths off of the world record. So what a lap from Tazza there.
And that world record lap too, don't you mind, would be in a time trial. I'm imagining they're referencing to, and obviously in a time trial, you're running the lowest fuel you can, and you're got the most rubbered up track. So he did do that, not really towards the end, that 107.1. It wasn't right at the end. So really cracking lap time.
Yeah,
really
I think it was his 2nd stint. He said it. His 3rd stint, don't get me wrong, he was still quick, but I think he was 5/100ths of a second off. He was incredibly close. Sorry, 5/1000ths of a second off. So he was very, very close to breaking it, but just not quite.
Sorry, Tint. Am I able to get you to drop the Discord stream down to 720p for me, please? Is that possible? Just before we get cracking here.
Try. Hang on a second.
I'm just having some technical difficulties on my end. Apologies for that.
We may not get a chance because we're going to have got 3 seconds till we start up again.
That's all right. We'll get it cracking here.
All right. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are off. Tazza with a decent enough start has the outside line. Apex is coming up. So Tazza's got a pretty clean start there. Tazza and Gares fighting it out. Looks like Zakov's gotten away pretty cleanly. Zay's up just in front of Kebab. Dodger's up there. I think we see an Alpine trying to take the inside line. we've gotten away. Oh, that's a very deep corner from the first two guys. So obviously, the braking very, very late. Gares with this move, it's gone, trying to go around the outside of Apex. He's going to hold his line. A great, great sense of racing here. Apex has pushed right all the way around. There's a little bit of touching. I think he's gotten the spot, and Apex has dropped another one, but he's going to get that spot back onto Zakov. Zakov's going to try that switch back on him, but Apex has held it out, so quite a nice bit. We have lost one racer towards the back. It looks like it might be ABK what we've lost. Other than that, pretty clean lap to start us off.
Yeah, very clean. We only seen Sneaky and ABK, as you mentioned. That was spinners around the back there. So, and they're going to jostle for positions now at the back of the grid as we see the drivers come around to start the second lap. Pretty good opener from Gers. He got the jump there on Apex and made the move early, and they really got their elbows out for those opening positions, as you do around this track. So now Apex has got the full pressure of having our reigning champion on the back of his tail. So it'll be interesting to see how he can hold that off as we go down to Zay now. He's in a bit of a fight here for P6. He's got a few guys behind him, Kebab, Ekim, Dodge, and Farmer Stan. So there's a bit of a pack forming out the back here now as well. So really, really just interested to see how these drivers set in for these first few laps and get stuck into their first stint.
Yeah, that's it. So, fortunate for ABK there, has lost 11 places. Ekham's made himself up 3, so a pretty good start by him. Everyone started on the medium except for Lemon, Mez, Dutchy, and SGN. So the AlphaTauris have decided they will start on that opposite strategy as Gers puts in the fastest lap to try and close down some the gap between himself and Tazza. Still a fairly bundled up pack here, as again we're watching the Zay, Ekim and Kebab battle. But there's a few guys that I think, and we're going to see Kebab have a crack. No, has a look, but just thinks twice about that move.
Yeah, so he just looked to get the magnifying glass out to have a look at that move, but yeah, like you said, didn't want to have a crack right there and then. But Zay here, so Zay last season for a fellow Ferrari driver, and we know he's a very handy and talented man. So interested to see where he can take this Williams today.
Yeah, it will be nice to see. We're just going to quickly just go down a little bit. Sorry, I'm just having a few little problems. But so Tazza has pushed that back out a little bit. Zakov's not quite close enough. Apex just taking a little bit of a wider line here, so he might be under a fair bit of trouble here from Zakov, who's going to be able to have that DRS now and pretty much just trundle right around him. I think his teammate at the back as well. No, not quite. There is Vlad and Cato right up the rear end of Farmer Sam. You can see that there's absolutely no breathing room between them. And behind that is Lemon right up behind Zico. I think we've also got Mez C and Dutchy getting their elbows out. So touching going on there. Mercedes just waiting. Flukesy just sticking his nose in. Anyone makes a mistake and what's it called? They've gone round and it's just parked it.
Yeah, not what you want there. And
no, that is not favourable at all. So is anyone close enough here to make a move? We'll jump on with Tiger. He's going to have DRS, but so does Apex. I don't think anyone else will be quite close enough to make a move, but you never know. We might see some Danny Rick of old, some very late braking. But Taz has gotten himself out to a pretty comfortable lead along with Gers. So they are choo-chooing away.
Yeah, Gers is looking seriously racy today. I mean, he looks racy every week, but that pace he's got today is looking beautiful.
That is it. So we'll quickly just touch in with Tazza. Again, everyone on the mediums except for the 4 hard drivers of Lemon, Dutchy, SGN, and Mez. Obviously, Mez has spun already. Unfortunately, Fluxy was tied up in that one, so Gears just keeping an ugly. Oh, big snap there from Gears, but does keep it under control. That's going to allow Zakov to really close up that gap and start attacking him now. So it's a pretty big mistake there from Gears, but hopefully he can get that back out to a second. As you see, there's about 2 or 3 tenths that little snap of oversteer has cost him. I think he's going to stay out of the range here of Zakov. We'll go back to, I believe that's Ekim, who will probably be under attack here from Zay. Zay just not quite close enough. We have the back of the pack. We have Sneaky, Mez right hot on his tail. Mez probably going to get this move done pretty quickly, as we see that Fluxy and ABK going side by side.
It's like a double lane entry into that turn there. There's 2 cars side by side in those 2 little battles there. So it's a cool little transition as we see him form up into a single file lane. As who was that? ABK wanted to have a sniff there, but he's not going to quite get the traction to go around the outside. But he might get the inside line now, as he's going to have a dive up in the inside as well. And these guys are going to go side by side around this whole corner. So Sneaky, he'll be enjoying this. He's going to be able to get himself away and hopefully out of that DRS range before the back straight.
Yeah, so there's a nice little battle there. As I said, now that Zakov's kind of removed, Tiger's starting to put some pressure here on Apex. Then we go back to Ekim, who's leading the charge there with Zay and Kebab behind him. Going back to Dodge, he's got Farmer Sam, Vlad, Casso, and Azeko all in there. Lemon still hanging on, the first of the hard compact races, who is up there. I think Gares is just started to drop off a little bit of pace here, as Taz is just putting on the afterburners, and he's already over 3.5 seconds up the road. So I'll be looking for Apex to capitalise in. I think Apex in the next couple of in the next lap or two is going to try and cruise past Gares. It might even be this lap if he can get himself close enough. He's 5 tenths. I don't think it's going to be quite enough, but he does have another straight to catch up on. So Gares just seem to be struggling a little bit. So here we go. Zakov right on the tail now. You can see how powerful this DRS straight is.
Yes, super powerful. And it's easy, you need to have a fair bit of battery to defend here. So if you've already nailed it early on in the race, you're pretty helpless down that DRS straight, Tins.
That is it. I'm going to quickly go to Farmer Sam, who there's that 4 little car pile up. It looks like Vlad's gotten past Dodge, or Dodge just trying to put a bit of pressure up. Now, I think Vlad and Farmer Sam both got past Dodge here, so unfortunate for him. The battle at the back is still quite a tight one. It's about 4 main groups here, with Dutchy and SGN kind of running their own race, and Tazla, who's 4 seconds up the road. So I think we'll jump on board here with Kebab, who's gonna have he's not gonna probably get there. The other one would be Azeko, who's going to look to go up the inside here of Dodge. Does get that inside line, breaks a little bit later, gets that move done pretty comfortably, but you can see that ERS flashing, that is poking along quite nicely. So he's got some battery to reclaim in the next couple of laps that he's going to have to work pretty hard and put himself in a position where he's probably going to get overtaken.
Yeah, that's it. We see as well in 5th and 6th with Tiger, and Ekim. The 2 Alpines running 5th and 6th, so that's currently a nice points haul for them if they're able to hold these two positions in the middle of the pack there for them.
We've lost Zay, unfortunately.
Oh, so yeah,
Zay's had a little spin there in the Williams. Unfortunate for him. It's gone around again.
Hot tyres.
Now we've got, believe that's a Zico trying to get around Farmer Sam here. Looks like Vlad's gotten past all three of them. So Vlad with a very, very good race here. We'll go back to, I believe it's Sneaky, Cato and ABK all fighting it out. A big weave there to try and retake that corner, but Cato, Sneaky, even ABK, Flukesy's right at the back, so great little battle going on there. But Vlad's been quite impressive. Did start up a little bit. We'll see if we can figure out how far he's actually come forward. Vlad's made up 4, Aziko's up 6, Dutchy, SGN up 5, Sneaky's up 4, Eckham's up 5, so some pretty good racing from these guys so far.
Yeah, Vlad, super consistent guy, and that's how he gets himself into these great positions where he gains a lot in these races, because he's able to just stay consistent and pick his way through the field. So that's a very handy performance of him at the start of this race to get him inside the points and put himself within contention to possibly catch a few of these guys by the end of the race. As we see, someone else has gone around again. I believe that might be Zay, or is it ABK who's gone around? It's ABK. So poor ABK. So those two Williams are not having a good day at all.
No, they are not. As I say that, Gez is just starting to make some ground back on Zakov here. And then
as well,
back up to Farmer Sam has actually gotten past Vlad again. So,
and they've got quite the train going through this middle sector here, where Farmer Sam has got the pressure of literally everybody. It's pressure after pressure here. So as we see, someone's, sorry, my game just shut down. I think Zico. Who just went around then? My game just flushed the safety car, and then it just went away.
I don't think we had anyone go around. We had Sneaky get a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, as we see Zico getting past Vlad. So continuing to battle there. Again, we'll keep back in with this Zakov and Gez, as we see, is that Zay again? Yeah, Zay's not having the best time at the moment. Unfortunately, he had a really, really good start, but I think he's got those tyres a little hot now and just starting to struggle. But Gez has really closed down this gap to Zakov and is starting to put some pressure on, so he can kind of start saving some juice with these massive DRSs. Yeah, Sneaky has left. Is that SGN that's just gone around?
Yeah, it's an AlphaTauri, and it is SGN who's gone around. I can't see. Doesn't look like he's got any wing damage or anything like that. The end plates still look intact. As now he's going to have to battle with Sneaky to keep this position for P16. So he'll comfortably keep him behind, but how many positions has he dropped now because of that? He was right up there, I believe. He was in that fight just below Vlad there. So yeah, it's easy. It must be easy to be caught out. Now, I haven't raced this track too much on this game, but it must be easy to be caught out when the tyres get a little bit rough towards that end of the stint on the mediums. Must be able to lose them pretty fairly easy, even though I say that he's on the hards, SGN. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe just a little bit of right foot happiness to try and make a move or whatnot, and went around.
Yeah, well, this track is, once those tyres get hot, it's very hard to actually keep those tyres, try and reduce those tyre pressures. So if you do start to get a bit of back wheel spinning, or do get a bit of a lead foot, you are going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we can see that from a few guys with Zay and ABK. Zay's having a really tough time at the moment. Whilst you were going on, Eckham did have a spin going into this first sector, so Eckham's got himself all the way down into 12th now. Unfortunate for him because he had a great start to this race, but Taz is 5.7 seconds up the road. Zakov isn't making any ground whatsoever. He's actually losing time. Gares is hot on his tail. Apex is right there. It even looks like Tiger's actually kind of started to join up onto this pack. Then you have the next lot, so you have Farmer Sam, followed by Azeko. Vlad did kind of get caught up a little bit, so he did get to the front, but he has kind of pushed back in there. I think then we have some of the hard runners. So yeah, Lemon's up there in 10th. He's doing quite nicely for the start of these hard runners, but we're going to probably see some guys start to think about pitting soon. We might see some undercutting going on. It really will just depend on who wants to do it. But again, Gare's putting miles of pressure on Zakov here, but the corner exit he gets out of that first sector is probably going to save his bacon there. That's Cato that's gone around at the back. So fortunate for Cato there, but yeah, it has gone around. So
is the undercut stronger than the overcut here, Tins?
I personally don't know, but if you're going from mediums to hards, the hards will last, but you've really got to know when your tyres go out. So as soon as you start losing too much time, you've just got to pull the trigger. Yeah, it's going to be pretty clean up here. We probably won't see too many people losing it. We might not see. I'm going to put it on the commentator's curse now, but we may not see a yellow flagged race. We might not see a safety car out with how much space is there. As I say that, we do have an AlphaTauri that has gone round, and I believe that's SGN again. So, whatnot. But yeah, we have a few of the guys that have just started to pit. So Apex is gone now. He's first of the front runners to go. Eckham has pitted right at the back. Fluxy, ABK, Cato have all gone in. So yeah, if you've got good rhythm, I'd be sticking with your tyres. You're gonna still get them out, but as soon as you start to spin or get a bit of wheel spin in the back section of the car, you got to be looking to change tyres. As soon as those tyres get hot, you're in big danger, and it only takes one little mistake with the grip and reliance on those back tyres of this track, and you could find yourself spinning yourself around quite quickly.
Yeah, and somebody who's managed that well today is Tazza. He's currently about 6.3 seconds ahead of Gares and Zakov, who have been jostling for that P2 position for quite some time, as Gares dives into the pit lane with Tiger as well. So these guys are going to go on the hards now. So it'll be interesting to see where they come out in the traffic. We did see last week when Vlad pitted, he did pit into the traffic, which ultimately cost him in the race. So I'm really interested to see where Gares and Tiger come out.
Well, Gares actually got past Zakov, so he's gone in that bit earlier. Now, Zakov's going to have a bit of speed, but the extra grip that's going to be on this track with those hards coming out is going to be beautiful. So if we jump down here to Gares has come behind Dutchy. Apex and Tiger are behind him. So Apex has actually managed to get, he has held his spot with Tiger being behind. So not too much going on. Taz is coming up now into this traffic, so is he going to dive into the pits now as well? He doesn't want to get caught up in that traffic. See what Zakov does. He's also going to pit. So the guy to watch at the moment, unfortunately, it's not Lemon or Dutchy. It will be Gares, who he's going to be the guy that we'll see if that undercut by a lap has actually worked. I think he's already on his way out, so he's not really in too much danger. As we see, Gears is going to go straight past Dutchy. He can say thank you very much for that DRS, which is going to help him immensely. He's going to go waltzing
he
past.
He would have got a massive toe down the straight there.
Yeah, and that's going to put him well and truly in front of Zakov. But Zakov's actually going to fit in right behind Dutchy, so this is perfect for Gears.
Yeah, that couldn't have worked out better for Gears, and now he's just going to have his fingers, toes, eyes and ears crossed that Dutchy can keep Zakov behind as long as possible and let himself sail out of that DRS range in Zakov's outlap here.
Well, that is it, and with the undercut, it has worked quite well. So they have actually managed to, especially Gears, he's only 3.2 seconds behind Tazza now, and Tazza had just over a 6-second buffer, so it has worked. Obviously, we've seen Tazza tend to have setups that favour one tyre over the other. Normally, it's the hard tyre that he favours over the medium, but his medium pace was absolutely insane today. Obviously, pulling away 6 seconds to Gears and Zakov, who are fighting it out, but Zakov's in a pretty not disappointing, but he's in a pretty bad spot right now. He's got no ERS. Oh, he's tangled up with Dutch. Oh, that is not good. So that's going to put a massive dent into him. That's going to put Apex now, who's actually managed to clear Dutchy in the wake of that incident. Apex is now P3, and Zakov's got a lot of work to do. He's put himself behind Tiger and behind Tiger as well. So that is a massive incident there.
Yeah, a reigning champion. It's not the way that he would want to be defending his title. And with Tazza way out in front, Gears and Apex now, yeah, he's really going to have to claw his way back here to get into that P4 position, as Lemon will obviously still have to pit, as he does now. Oh, no, sorry, Taz has just gotten past him. But, yeah, so unfortunately for Zakov, that will be looked at by the FIA, but tangled up into Lagos is not what he wanted, and he's got damage too, so he's going to have to go and pit, and he's going to jump back on the mediums. 16 laps again on the meds, so, yeah, unfortunate for Zakov.
Yeah, well, I think the double medium's actually going to save him quite a bit here. So having an extra tyre in the shed, it'll work. He's going to have some serious pace on the way back, but he's down in 13. He's got a lot of room to make up. So we'll see if he can pull anything. If they get if a safety car comes along, he's going to be well and truly in a position, as we see Zay getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But yeah, a safety car is going to be the only saviour for Zakov being so far down, I'd reckon. There's been some pretty good pace here. There hasn't been too much pushing out, and he hasn't really got anyone in his sights. He's got to close up a fair bit of time to Eckham in front, who's almost 5 seconds in front of him. So
yeah, he's quite a while even just off the points, isn't he? So even just to get a Zico is going to be an ask without a safety car. So unfortunate for him, but Tazza will be licking his lips up the front there, because he didn't have the best of results last week, did he?
No, unfortunately not. But yeah, he's having a strong week now. He has pushed that gap back out to over 4.5 seconds, so he's cruising along nicely. Tiger's actually closed up quite close to Apex, so I'd be looking to see these two go back and forth a few times, I reckon, with that DRS being so powerful.
Yeah, Tiger's been
Zakov gets 3-second time penalty as well. That is going to just add to his woes.
Yeah, that 3 second, like you said, unless a safety car comes. Even so, that's sort of ruined his race there. So, not often do we see Zakov make mistakes like this. He is known to be a seriously consistent driver and to stay out of those sort of incidents. So obviously that'll be looked at by FIA within the ARL, and yeah, we will get a verdict on that later. But as we get back to the racing, as we were talking about, Tiger been really, really racy today. I've enjoyed watching him. He's been pretty smart with his racing. He hasn't done anything too silly or gone out of his way to get his elbows out or getting into any trouble. And he's just sitting real nicely on the back of Apex here, just getting towed along. And yeah, he's put in a really good performance.
Yeah, Tiger's come from, I think he was backing up from last year, where he put in some really good performances as a backup. And I think we all saw a bit of talent there, and obviously we can see it with Apex being one of our rising stars. Tiger's not too far behind him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that battle between Apex and Tiger, if Apex can hold him off, and sort of who's running what tyre wear, because they've both been in a similar position throughout the entire race. So yeah, this jostling at the end, I'm sure it's going to get a bit tighter, as they're both sort of just saving battery there. As you can see, Tiger, he's got the bang full almost. I'm not sure what Apex's level is on, but yeah, these guys are going to get ready to go at it come lap 30 if it doesn't already happen.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So Taz is kind of driving away with it now. Gaz is just losing time. Apex is, he's losing a little bit of time to Gaz in front, but Tiger's staying right with him. Kebab's kind of running a pretty lonely race at the moment, carrying that weight of the Red Bull since Zakov is fairly far back. But then we have Lemon. He's had a tremendous race so far. If we go to the positions made up, he's up 7 positions, so that hard stint that he put in was consistent. He was leading all hard runners, so put himself up 7 positions and into P6. He's going to have quite a field day here with having those medium tyres on. So he's the only one in the top 10 at the moment with those mediums. So expect some pretty neat pace from Lemon. But yeah, he has a really big job if he wants to catch Kebab, which I believe is there. He's got 12 laps to do it. But yeah, will we see anything special? I don't quite know. But yeah, I guess time will tell.
Yeah. So as well, we've seen ABK and Zay. They spun and sort of ruined their races earlier on. What are our biggest gainers and biggest? Well, who's lost the most positions? Obviously, besides Zakov, who was almost close to leading the race. We see Zay, who's down 14 positions. ABK was down, he's down 9 positions now. So, yeah, a couple of guys just not able to have the race that they would have been hoping for, I'd imagine, here at Interlagos. But as we see, Tiger, he's just on the back of the guys here. As we see, are they behind a lap car there? It must be. Yeah. I think it's ABK or Zay in front of them. So that'll be wanting this lap car to get out of the way, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so Zay, he has unlapped him. He's trying to unlap himself, and he's got some serious pace because he's gone past both Apex and Tiger in the one lap. But yeah, it's blue flag situation. I don't really think in this situation he should be racing, but it looks like he's got a fair bit of pace, so I don't think he's going to hold him up too much. It is risky going to try and unlap yourself, I will admit. If you do get tangled up, you'll be in some pretty big trouble with the FIA for tampering with the race, but it looks like he's gotten away pretty damn quickly, so he has made that work. A credit to him, as he gets 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags. But again, he's trying to unlap himself. He hasn't really done anything to the detriment of both drivers. But yeah, it's probably not something I would. It's something I'd probably look away from, especially this is the elite division. These guys are very, very quick, having a new set of tyres on. He's got fresh mediums to relatively worn-in hards now, so he's going to have that pace. But I wouldn't be doing it anywhere. As we see, ABK and Sneaky have DNF'd.
Oh,
so we're just about to come up on that incident, as we've got a safety car is out. So is this the reprieve that Zakov needs?
Now, he would have been crossing his arms, his legs, his eyes, hoping for a safety car, and that's what's happened. But we do have to... he does have that 3-second time penalty, but obviously if he's able to wedge his way up and make a buffer, he still might be able to score some decent points here. So everybody diving into the pits to go in these final 10 laps. So we should have about anywhere between 8 to 6 laps of racing here in these final laps of this elite division race here at Brazil. So looks like pretty much almost everybody will dive in as all the leaders went in.
Yeah. So the big talking point here, Taz has gone on the softs. Same with Lemon. Gares. There's a mixture between soft and medium runners. So are these softs going to be able to hold up for? I believe you're probably looking at 7 to 8 laps.
If HK, if you're watching in the chat, what are these softs go? I know we know across the board usually they really only last anywhere between, say, 7 to 5 laps at a very good pace before they drop off a wall. So HK said in the chat for him, he was able to get 9 laps out of them. But we do have to understand that obviously Taz is going to have the pressure of everybody behind him, but again, he's going to be on the softs, he's going to be able to lift and go. So interesting to see those guys choosing the soft tyres. Preferably, I would have chosen the mediums because you know you're safe the entire time. But Tazza is the man at the moment, and he's proven all day that he knows what he's doing. So I think we're just going to have to back him in and see how he goes here. So Gares, Gares, Apex, Tiger, Kebab, they are all on the mediums. Then we see Lemon and Vlad, who's gone on the softs. Ezekiel on the mediums. Farmer Sam on the softs. With Zako, Fluxy on the softs. And then the rest of the field on the mediums here. So the field is still bunching up quite a bit. There's still a few people way back with Mez and SGN closing out the back of the field. So those guys have still got to come around the back of the pack. So we might see a couple more laps under the safety car here before we get racing underway. So we might get going on possibly lap 29 or lap 30, which would give us 7 or 6 racing laps. But it'll mean that Gares can have another crack at Tazza here. He did show some early signs, looking seriously comfortable on those mediums, did Gares, and so did Tazza. But now Gares, with this safety car, it's brought him back within that range. So it's all going to be on here. Apex as well. He was hunting earlier. Couldn't quite keep it with those front 2 guys, but Tiger was eagerly on the back of him as well. Kebab, he's had a pretty quiet race, and now he's going to be in the thick of it. Lemon, Vlad, he's moved up one more position as well, with a few spinners coming out. Azeko, Farmer Sam, and Dodge. So there's going to be some battles here, and there's after Lemon and Kebab, there's a little bit of a mixed tyre set between those 5 or 6 drivers there. So the safety car should come in this lap. Mez is just coming around the final part of the middle sector, so he'll close up by the end of this lap. So we will get going on lap 29, or we should do anyway. If Cody just wants to try and make me look silly, but we should get going this lap, which will give us 6 racing laps left in this Elite Division race tonight. Yep. And the action's going to be packed, I'm sure, on the redress as soon as the safety car moves out of the way, it's going to be on for young and old.
Yeah, that's it. So I think you're probably a little bit ambitious with thinking that Zakov's going to have another shot at Tazza. But yeah, this is the prime example.
Wait, did I say that? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did say that.
Oh, I meant to say yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah, you're all right. Zakov's going to be in for a fun few laps as HK just backs me up there. I said it first, mate. Just saying. But nah, he's gonna. It's gonna be very interesting to watch Gares kind of peel his way through the group. I really am looking at Zakov of a bit more pulling a Max Verstappen, just an upper echelon driver trying to weave his way through the pack. So we now should see, safety car is in this lap. So again, I think these softs will make it to the end pretty easily. We've had 2 laps, pretty slow on the softs, so I think they should get there pretty well. But yeah, any little slip up's gonna matter.
So here we go. Tazza leading the safety car. He's got to get a good way, and he does. He's leading this off, and he got a really good start. He sort of jumped gears a little bit there, but he's managed to stay on as they're all heavy on the ARS coming down the straight. And Tazza gets a good start, and he will lead this race off with 6 laps to go.
Yep, so he's gotten around quite nicely. I think Zico was side on side as we've just lost all the drivers there. There goes Zakov. So Zakov's gone, did make up a position, so he's up into 12, so he's just kind of pushed his way up through Eckham. Kebab's gotten past Tiger, so pretty disappointing from Tiger there.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate, but most of the guys have held their own. Lemon, again, big improvement today. He's probably looking at your driver of the day so far with that alternate strategy, putting himself up to 6th. Vlad's going to have a crack as well. He's in 7th. Farmer Sam also up there, but the pack's going to stay really close together here, and we can already see the 2 guys at the front, Tazza and Gares, they're pulling away like madmen. They've already pulled a second to Apex, and Gares is hanging on in there, but wow, serious that pace is, yeah, that is exactly right. So, and now Kebab's trying to have a crack at Apex, so that's absolutely magical there. Zakov's slowly making his way up now. He's just at 1 spot away now from being on the not being on the podiums. SGN has retired coming out of sector 1. Out of those first couple of turns, but yeah, Zakov is quite close to the getting that 1 extra point now, but the main fun up here at the moment is going to be for this 3rd position and 1st and 2nd. So all bets on.
Kebab's gone from having quite a quiet race to now he's right all over the back of Apex, and Apex is going to have to be seriously precise in these last 5 laps here to make sure he doesn't lose any more positions, because he is on that last step of the podium, and it's not the way you want to lose it. So he's going to have to be quick. He's pulled a slight little gap on Kebab, but Kebab is looking good, nice and racy in these last 5.
Yeah, Kebab's in it to win it here, so he made his move on Tiger. Tiger might have been caught sleeping a little bit. DRS has been enabled now, so anyone remotely close, you've got 4 laps, so Zakov's actually lost a place to Eckham as well, so Eckham's gotten past Zakov. Shows you how much, how deep we have, how deep the drivers go in this division. So Eckham's just gone straight past Zakov without DRS. So now these soft tyres, Gares is having to work these mediums pretty hard to make sure he stays in this 2nd. This could make or break his entire race now. This one little section, if he can stick onto it, he'll get it, but if not having DRS, I reckon he's just going to fall short.
Yep.
Which is that is a massive thing, as we've seen. Those are the pile up. Zay Zay, Cato, as we've got another safety car. So that is... and Vlad's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Tut.
So now Taz is in a bit of strife, I'd imagine. Those softs are probably, they wouldn't be as good as the mediums now. And they're going to have a couple, maybe a lap under the safety car, and that'll help him a bit. But he just did all that work to get gears off his back in DRS, and now he's going to have that McLaren in his rearview mirror straight on his gearbox once again.
Yeah, so... you're probably only going to have a lap or 2 laps of racing left after this. So they did manage to get past the safety car. It's going to park itself just at the start of Sector 2. So I'd be looking, it's pretty much going to go straight off.
So I think HK has said to me before that this game makes it so there's always 2 laps of racing at the end if there is a safety car at this point in time. So we will see it come in at the end of the next lap, regardless of where people are on the track, I believe. So these guys are going to form up after the safety car in Sector 2, like you said, Tins. And it's literally just going to take them through that middle sector, and then bang, they're going to be off and racing again. So
we'll have a quick look at the penalties while we got here. Zakov with a 3-second, Vlad with 5, Mez with 8, and Zay with 5. So Zakov is up into those podium places, but sorry, not podium places, into the points, but has a 3-second time penalty, so he could very much be well and truly out of it. Again, we look back at these tyres as Mez gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. When will these boys ever learn? But yeah, Tazza, he's got 7 lap olds now. He's going to have 2 laps to sprint. Those tyres should have a little bit of life left in them. With the safety car coming in, I think he's been under safety car for 3 to 4 laps now, so they should still have enough in them. But Gares and Apex's mediums, they're going to be prime. They are going to be right in the window. And yeah, from all of a sudden not having a safety car the whole time, what do they always say? Safety cars breed safety cars. We see the safety car is in this lap. So again, we're back with Tazza for this restart. It looks like we've got the top 12 drivers are in the pack. So unfortunately for Flukes, he's not going to be there with it. But when is he going to go? He's already gone now. So Tazza taken off. Gares is right on the back of that car.
What a start. So Gares manages to get a good jump, and now he's going to have a look around the outside. Doesn't really think about it, but Apex now gets a sniff in there with that Ferrari. They all redress pretty nicely, and now they're all back on. Apex is right on the back, and so is Gares. He's sniffing on the back of this Mercedes. Is he going to have a dive down the inside of this thing? I think he will. He's going to be late on the brakes, but he doesn't quite make it work, and Tazza's managed to keep it around the outside. So the McLaren and the Mercedes battling hard for position here.
Yeah, Kebab did almost get past Apex there, but Apex just had enough guts to hold him out. He did get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but again, when it's that close, he might have just been there. Zako gets another 3-second time penalty, so his race is all but over. Can Tiger perhaps make a run back here? They're not going to have DRS, so it's all going to be about how they get that. How well can they get a run? So if those tyres are starting to die of Tazza, he needs every single strain of grip they have left in that tyre, because Gares is coming, and he's coming hard. I think Gares has just about figured out the race restarts of both Zakov and Tazza.
Yeah, he's reading them like picture books, those two guys.
He seems to be second and third every time we go to a race restart, so he's getting pretty good at starting behind, while the other guys are still getting their practice at the front. But it looks like we have got Apex, Kebab, Tiger, Lemons up there. We don't really have too many close battles at the moment. The top 10 seems to be decided pretty well so far as we come around this last section is anyone going to have a crack? We'll jump back to Apex here. It looks like Tiger's really, really close to the back of Kebab. But I don't think we're having it. Gares has tried to close this gap down. I don't think he's going to have enough ERS here.
No.
To chase him down. But is anyone going to make a mistake on this final thing? I think everyone's gotten away pretty clean. Tazza will take P1 here, followed by Gares, Apex. Did Tiger get... Tiger got... Oh, Kebab had that 3-second time penalty. So Kebab could be fourth, followed by Tiger, Lemon, Farmer Sam, Dutchy, Flukesy, Dodge, Zakov out of the points this week, so disappointing race for him. Zico, Vlad, Zay, and Ekem bringing up the rear. So again, just be wary of that Kebab penalty that could be taken off. But your podium sitters, Tazza, Gares, Apex. Tazza had a really disappointing race last week. He's made all those points back up because Zakov's had a really disappointing race this week.
Yeah, it's going back and forth, and the title fight is on. So Tazza brings himself back into contention with what I would describe as one of the most consistent drives I've seen in the ARL. He had pace all day, and I'd love to see his lap times over the whole entire time, because I'm sure they would have been seriously consistent and quick. So Gares just quite couldn't get it done, but he's lifted his pace this season. He is literally in the hunt 2 weeks in a row now, so really well done from Gares. And Apex again, another podium. So he has carried that consistency and form over from that Mexican Grand Prix of last season, and replicated it instantly in his first race of season 6.
Yeah, Apex, he is well and truly on it. So yeah, Tazza with the win. A pretty dominant performance from him. Started off well, dragged away, dealt with 2 safety cars. Gares, clearly the second fastest on track today. Did a really, really good job to bring that home. Again, another showing a pace from Gares. He's really brought himself out as one of the front runners of this competition. Apex, misses 1 week, gone straight back on that podium. So he is only getting better and better. Tiger and I believe it was Kebab were up there as well, so a great thing. I think if we're going to go driver of the day, I think I'm probably going to give it to Lemon. The alternative strategy worked an absolute treat, and he's made up, I think, 7 or 8 positions. But yeah, Tazza, Gares, Apex, Tiger, Lemon, Farmer Sam, Kebab, Dutchy, Flukesy, Dodge, Zakov, Zico, Vlad, Zay, Ekem of the finishers. The retirees, Mez, followed by the DNFs of Cato, SGN, ABK, Sneaky. We'll quickly just get through the incidents here. But yeah, a great race from our top 3. So we will be back very shortly with the interview. So please do stick around, and we will be right back. Right, so we are back for said interviews. We're going to try and grab the man of the hour. We will take Tazza and bring him into the box. Tazza, after a disappointing round 1, you've bounced back here with a pretty Oh, a pretty dominant performance here at Brazil. So congratulations, mate. Can you kind of talk us through your bit of preparation for this week after such a disappointing round one?
I mean, I knew that round one was bad. I crashed out. I was automatically 25 points behind, so kind of didn't want to come away with anything else than what I got. It all went to plan, and here we are. So, yeah, I just put a little bit more in this week and wanted to try and reel the championship back in a little bit more, and I did that. So, happy days.
No, you had some seriously quick pace today. Tins did mention in the stream that you do like to favour a tyre. What do you prefer? Are you a medium man? Are you a hard man? Because you looked unreal on both sets. But that first stint on the mediums was just unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, I used to only like the hards, but then I was lacking on the mediums. Like my hard pace was really, really good, and then my medium pace sucked. So I just kind of put the hards aside for a while this week and focus more on the mediums and just getting consistency across, the two. If you want to be quick on them, you need to have the tires fast straight away, like early on. So as soon as they're up the temperature, you need to be pushing the limit. So it was just about finding that limit and working forward from there.
Yeah, well, you gain some pretty with both stints. I think you ended up getting about 6 or so seconds ahead of Gers, who was in second, pulling away from even Zakov himself before Zakov got himself in trouble and didn't actually score any points tonight. So that will help. That will help you quite a bit. You've closed that gap right up. But yeah, Gers coming in second again. He was the one who pushed you quite a bit. Again, Gers seems to be this one right behind every single safety car restart we have in this league in the elite division at the moment. And I must say, he's getting damn good at reading you blokes off the line. He almost had you coming into that second to last lap on that last restart.
Yeah, the guys were kind of yelling at me like, hold it off a bit longer. And obviously the longer you hold it off, the closer to the timing line you get. So, I mean, the softs were at like 40% by then as well. So it was a big gamble. I knew if I pitted for freshies again, they wouldn't, and I wouldn't win. So it was kind of a, hands tied behind your back situation. I got a little bit of wheel spin and he was right there, but I was luckily able to outbrake him and he didn't want to run the outside line. And yeah, I was sweating a bit there, but yeah, I got there. I was able to hold him off.
Awesome.
Props to him. That was a fun. I'll give it to Gers. That was a very fun last couple of laps, especially at a tight, slippery track. When it's a kind of sprint at the end and you're pushing right on the limit and someone's breathing down your neck, it gets intense and it's a lot of fun. So cheers to him for that.
Nah, absolutely well done, mate. Congratulations on the win. You are going to level up with Zakov in the standings, but I think Gers might be leading the championship as we speak after, I think he's had 2 seconds in a row, or a second and a third. So, again, another good race from you, mate, and we look forward to seeing you up here and fighting for that championship. So, congratulations, mate.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Well done, mate.
Cheers. Catch us.
All right, so we'll jump straight into Gers here. So we'll move Gers.
Hello.
He's already up here. Look at him.
Hello.
Mate, what a race! Sorry, Tins. We just spoke to Tazza about your safety car restart. You're getting a bit of a reputation for reading these guys like novels.
I read them like a book. Just read them like a book.
Run us through how you go through that.
Okay, so basically, I see when the safety car goes in, so I see it going to the pit lane, so I stop heating up my tires because, you probably only lose like a degree or two. And then I stayed on the outside because if I went onto the inside, I wouldn't get a good run. And I don't know why, I don't know how, but I just know when people are going to go and I get ready straight away. So, I don't know, I just read them too easily.
Yeah, you had a pretty good go there, and again, it looked like you were actually pushing him along at the end of that straight. You did look like you had to run up, probably a little run up the outside there, but just couldn't quite get it done, and not having the ERS or the DRS has helped to finish off the race. It did show that you were clearly the second fastest man on track tonight, making pretty easy work of Zakov. And getting a pretty good start on Apex as well. So, mate, you're getting better and better. And again, I think you're actually leading the championship at the moment.
I am.
So
that's the only time you're going to see it, though.
No, I don't think. I think you're absolutely lying. But again, Gaz, another consistent race from you. I think, is it 2 seconds in a row, or did you finish third?
Yeah,
last one?
two second places.
So yeah, we saw you improve quite a bit last season, and now this season, 2 seconds in a row. Haven't quite stepped on that upper echelon bit, but you are leading the championship. So I'm sure the win is right around the corner. But who needs wins if you can just finish second every single race? You're going to take enough points off the guys anyway.
Exactly. I'd be happy finishing second every race.
But yeah, another great performance from yourself, mate. Congratulations, and we look for. Well, I guess we'll see you next week. If you keep this form up, we'll see you in the second place again.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, you guys have a good night, eh?
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
All right, so we got Gaz. I think we've got Apex coming in the booth now. So Apex, another podium. Mexico was the last time we got to saw you. Apparently you were at band camp this week. But yeah, come straight back up into Brazil and straight back on the podium.
Let me correct you there. I do not do band camp. All right, it was out the red.
Oh, hey, your teammate HK has said that he has good intel that you were at band camp. So,
oh my god, I'm gonna kill him.
HK was actually one of the teachers there, I believe. So.
Yeah, he was old enough. But no, good to be back, I guess. I felt really comfortable today. A few times I felt a little bit uncomfortable when I got Tiger and Kebab right up my rear. But I felt just like I kept my cool. I got a little bit hot-headed a few times when I made contact with Gaz in the first lap. It just shoved me out of the way. But that's just racing, I guess. Come back, first debut in the Ferrari, and to get P3, I'm actually pretty stoked with that. All the time, because I've had barely any time with exams and work at the moment. So to come back and get a decent result, I'm actually really stoked with that. But yeah.
No, awesome. We spoke about in the race, and what Tim's just mentioned about you getting that P3 in Mexico in the end of the race, end of the season. Sorry, last season, and you've carried that form over now. Been away for a week. What were you sort of thinking about that time? Watching the other guys, we've seen that Zakov had a good race. Gaz had a good race last week. What were your thoughts coming into the race this week? Did you have some pressure on yourself, knowing that you needed to make up for last week, or how was your thoughts coming into this season?
I'm going to be honest, you kind of read my mind, but I didn't even really know the results for last week because, I couldn't really, I've been away for so long. I didn't get back, so I haven't really checked the previous results. But, I felt like I knew people would be quick. Also, a huge shout out to Tiger. That guy's developed really well, and I got to say, a pretty decent result today for P5. I do think, P5. But I was coming into this race and always set targets. Like I always want to try and be near Tazza, but like I've just got to put in work harder. Gaz me and him always have some friendly banter and always want to see if I can either pip Zakov. But yeah, today to be able to beat a few of those guys, same as Vlad, I'm actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, there's nothing I could negatively say about this race.
Yep. All right. Well, again, another great race from you, mate. Just carrying that momentum over. Before we let you go, we are gonna need to ask, what instrument do you play at said band camp?
I'm going to kill you.
It's
drag me into Mercedes right now.
I don't
want to talk to you. Shut up. I don't do band camp.
For the Ferrari fans, I'm
going to play the trombone. I can confirm
the trombone. Oh, see, the saxophone is definitely the sexiest of all instruments. Actually,
yeah, and that's exactly why.
If I'm gonna put it to Apex, though, I think he's more of a triangle man.
I'm not standing in the corner for 2 hours donging on a triangle with a little stick, bro. That sounds like the most boring thing I've ever heard. If I was to go on Bandcamp, I would play the trombone, be the center of attention, you know.
Fair enough. All right, mate. Well, congratulations on P3.
Right.
Continue developing, and hopefully we'll see you fighting it out for the championship this year. So congratulations, mate.
You better get P3 on Tuesday, I swear to God.
Easy now.
I'll be there to stop that.
Snoop's going to try and put an end to
No,
that.
your internet's going to stop that. I'm sorry, that was mean.
Well, there we
Alright.
go. See you later, mate.
All right, love you, boys. Take it easy.
See you, buddy.
All right. Well, we will get one more. I'm going to bring in the last driver of the night. We're going to bring in.
Who it is.
We're going to bring in Lemon. I want to have a quick chat with Lemon about the alternate strategy, mate. Started on the hards, made up yourself. I think it was 7 or 8 positions, and probably got driver of the day. Especially in my eyes, a pretty good race from yourself there, mate. Can you explain the thought process behind it? Was there maybe a bit of a qualifying lacking pace or anything, or do you have this going into the race?
Well, I just felt like doing the alternate strategy because, well, I wanted to switch it up because if you just do the same strategy as everyone else, there's not a lot of moving to be done unless you got really good race pace. But it worked amazingly for me. Like, even when I did pit and people should have the undercut, I came out ahead of the people I was racing. So I just kept sailing on till the safety car came out.
No, awesome stuff, man. Moving through the pack like that, what was your sort of mentality? Were you just trying to keep yourself out of trouble and just knock off a few positions here or there, or how are you feeling throughout the race?
Just don't crash. I had a really aggressive setup on, and I was just, if I just keep this car steady, I'll go fast. So that was the mentality for most of that race.
It's pretty
awesome,
handy
mate.
one there, mate. Again, probably driver of the day for me, making that alternative strategy work. And not only that, you made up quite a few positions. So a great race from yourself, mate. Getting some points on the board for the AlphaTauris. Congratulations, and we'll see you again next week when we're racing in the sprint race and the race after in Abu Dhabi. So look forward to seeing you there, mate.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Good luck, mate, next week. Cheers.
All right. Well, an interesting race. 2 safety cars at the end, an all-out 2-lap sprint. A pretty dominant performance from Tazza. A fantastic, consistent race from Gares. Another following on performance from Apex. Some young guns coming up. Tiger, Kebab was up there. Zakov not having a great night. Lemon, again, probably the driver of the day in my eyes with the alternate strategy. A lot of things going on in that race, but again, another successful race for the ARL and a great standard with the qualifying pace 4 or 5 tenths off the world record. So a pretty good night in my eyes. Did you have any other things that you saw, Snoop, that kind of stood out for you?
Just the main thing, I think it's probably the first time we've seen Zakov make those sort of mistakes. He's pretty consistent, and he never is one to rack up a few 3-second time penalties for those track limits. So, Abu Dhabi next week, sprint race. It's going to be interesting to see how they all fire back. Obviously, Zakov's going to come fit and firing, and now that Taz has taken the fight to him and that Gares has taken over that championship lead, this is the first time in quite a while, I'd imagine, we've seen Zakov outside of that number 1 position on the top of our elite leaderboard. So I'm just really keen to see how he unpacks this race himself and how he presents himself in Abu Dhabi. How can he bounce back and make that momentum shift to take it in his way and start building on taking back this championship fight?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Again, we're only 2 weeks into a 12-lap extended season, so strap yourselves in with everyone. With Zakov kind of coming back towards the pack and a few of the guys starting to get a rhythm on, we're in for a fantastic season, and I can't wait.
Yeah, yep, me too, mate.
All right, well, that about does us for tonight. Again, we'll go through Tazza taking home the win, Gares in P2, Apex P3, Zakov, the big probably shocker of the night, not actually scoring a point. So that kind of evens up the Tazza DNF from round one. So we're right, we're ready for the sprint race next week in Abu Dhabi. Tune in on Monday night to see the first, the academy drivers of the Abu Dhabi circuit. Other than that, we will see you back next week on Thursday night for the Elite Division. I've been your host, Man of Tin, signing off, and Snoop, I'll let you finish it off.
Yep, thanks. Great race tonight here in the ARL for our Elite Division, and Abu Dhabi next week, a controversial circuit. So looking forward to getting there and seeing what happens. But everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week for the Academy Division on Monday at Abu Dhabi. Cheers, guys.